Hello, everyone. This is Varsha, and you are watching the series of success stories brought to you by Indian Achievers Forum. So, as you all know, the series is all about the prominent achievers of our country who has made India proud in some way or the other. The main focus of our series is to make you all know about the success and achievements of our prominent guests. So, today, in the same sequence, we have with us Miss Indrani Dwarampudi, who is the founder and CEO of Berry Ads and Branding. But before we actually move ahead in the conversation with her, let's quickly have a look at a very small video telling you about what we actually do.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows, and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Hi, Indrani, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you so very much. Okay, so before starting the conversation, please tell us something about you and your profession.
Hi, I'm Indrani, and I'm an MBA graduate from Amity University. I did my MBA in Media Management, and I've worked for a year and a half after that, and then I started up Berry Ads and Branding. So as far as my role is concerned here, I'm the founder and the CEO, so I'm involved with pretty much everything that goes on here, right from day-to-day operations to business strategy and client onboarding and so that's pretty much what I do and a little bit about me.
Okay, so Indrani, how did you actually land up to the idea of starting up with this business, and also what sort of challenges you have faced while moving ahead in your journey?
Right. So to begin with, I was a very, very naive kid in the school. So I didn't really have too much exposure as to what sort of careers one has to opt for after your education. So it's only after I finished my 12th with a science background did I do my research and I stumbled upon marketing and advertising to be specific. And that caught my interest. And from there on, there was no turning back really because then I got into BBA with a marketing specialization, and then I did my MBA. I got my first internship with a very reputed advertising firm, and then I got my first job in advertising. But to be quite frank, for a really long time, I did not have entrepreneurship in my head. I was very content and satisfied with my 9 to whatever job. Only when I started, I wanted to do more of it. I mean, my passion and love for advertising and digital marketing grew so much that I wanted to do a little more and a little more. And when you're working in a job scenario, you're restricted to your own duties. So to sort of grow out of it and metamorphosize, I decided to start up on my own. Now, as far as challenges is concerned, I think the biggest challenge was to get the initial few clients on board. Because you know what happens is in digital marketing space, every third person you meet is a digital expert. So everybody knows everything, or that's what they feel. So to go to a client and convince them that this is what we're offering and this is the difference we can make was the single most difficult task. Once we had our first few clients on board and we could really do some good work for them and create some difference in their business, the word of mouth sort of spread by itself, and we had some more clients, and that's how we sort of grew. But the initial bit where we had to get our first clients on board was really, really difficult. Because see, for example, if I tell you we're a good agency and we make difference in your work, or we do good work, then you really don't have a definite answer to what is good and what is the difference. There's so much ambiguity associated with it. So to sort of navigate through that ambiguity was a really, really big challenge.
Okay, so now moving ahead, what is the organizational culture like at Berry Ads and Branding?
Also at Berry, I believe it's a very, very happy place. So it is the kind of place that you can get up and if you don't feel like, first of all, if you don't feel like working from office for that particular day, you're free to work from home. And that is the kind of agency we want it to be. So there's no hard and fast rules as to you have to be from so and so time in the office. You can be wherever you want as long as work's getting done. We're fine with it. Or even when you come to office, it's a very, very happy place. We hardly have any hierarchy because we feel being in a creative space to have hierarchies and specific job boundaries, it sort of disrupts the whole idea of free thought process. So it's a very happy place. For example, recently we have somebody from our team who delivered. So we're more than happy if she's getting her young one to the work, and it's all like you're pretty free to do what you want here as long as the work's getting done. And that's what I think keeps the fire and the passion to work more and to do better work ignited in our employees too. So that's that. In fact, when we have female employees, we make sure they don't have to choose between personal and professional life, because that becomes a huge factor in female careers. Whether you put it forward that way, you're very subtly influencing it. It does make it does become a huge factor. So we make sure that such biases are eliminated so people can come down and bring their best self to work.
Amazing. Okay, so now I would also, like to ask you that how did this pandemic has, changed the business dynamics of your organization?
So as far as opportunity is concerned, I think it has been a two-edged sword. Firstly, yes, a lot of businesses have sort of moved online, so it's a huge opportunity. But at the same time, there's so many other vendors who also started offering digital marketing at much more competitive prices. So that makes this space that much more saturated and competitive, which in a way is good. So it sort of pushes everyone to do their best. But yeah, so that's a more realistic picture of it. Although we have a lot of opportunity, but we also have a lot of competition. But very fortunately, we have seen a lot of growth in this whole pandemic situation, and we're very thankful for that.
Okay, so now what further plans do you have for Berry in upcoming years?
So the idea is to, so we are working on an idea of virtual office where, like the whole coming down to physical space reduces. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at as a way ahead. And we're also looking at working globally, like, this pandemic has sort of reduced the geographical barriers. And then now you can sit out of India and work with a client who's in Europe or Egypt or anywhere else. So I think that is what we're looking at. We're looking at more of global opportunities that, I think world has opened up to more. And yeah, that's pretty much what is in our heads. Let's see how that goes forward.
Okay, so as you have just mentioned about this pandemic, 2020 has been a year of lots many up down for almost every one of us. But still, I would like to ask you that what are your views on Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and also if you could, tell us about how is your organization working towards this campaign?
So first of all, I think it's a very, very relevant campaign in today's day and age. I think the pandemic has only, re-emphasized the fact that it's high time India has become a very self-dependent country. Now, I feel like if you look at the educational system and the industry, so the problem is the industry needs resources, so it says, but then there's still not enough opportunities. And I think that's where all the startups and all these new businesses come up, in creating that opportunity for people who pass out from various educational institutions or someone who's looking for an opportunity to work. Now, what's been happening is people who graduate from elite institutes have been looking for opportunities abroad. Now, I'm not blaming them because, yeah, we don't have that sort of opportunities in the country to begin with. I feel creating that opportunity is a huge step towards an Atmanirbhar Bharat. And it's not just about Berry. It is any startup or any firm that's actually contributing in nation building, not just in terms of the taxes, but also in terms of employment, is a step taken in the right direction. So I mean, keeping that in mind, the more the merrier, right? A lot more people get employed. There's a very self-sustainable ecosystem created in the country. Then there's very little scope for us to, take or look anywhere else for any opportunity for that matter.
So now, Indrani, I know it's always, wonderful when we get recognition for the work we are doing. But still, I would like to know from you that what are your feelings on winning this Indian Achievers Award?
Oh, I'm very, very overwhelmed because what happens is when you start up, there's so much to do, especially when you're like a small team and you just really new. There's so much to do that you know that you can't really do anything else but to put your head down and work. And while you're working and while you're at it, a lot of time passes by. It's only when something like this, like a recognition like this comes your way, do you realize, oh, okay, that you're sort of on the right path. So it is very, very encouraging to sometimes have things like this come our way because it sort of, makes us more confident of what we do. And, so in a way, it keeps the motivation going, right? So I'm very, very overwhelmed and very thankful to Indian Achievers Forum for the recognition and for the award.
Okay, and I once again would like to congratulate you on your achievement, Indrani. So now moving ahead, being a working woman, how do you manage your professional and personal life?
So, to begin with, there is very little scope of personal life when you're just starting up because, okay, being in a higher hierarchy in an established company is fine because then you have those many resources at your disposal, you have those many contacts to reach out to in case there's an issue. But when you're starting up, it's sort of the whole responsibility part is the same, but you don't have those many resources and all of that. So the personal life is, you do have to make your compromises. And in my case, I just got married 6 months back. So it again becomes a huge mess in that aspect. But thankfully, I have a very, very supportive spouse and family who, supported me through and who didn't really put me in a space where I had to choose between my career and my personal life. But apart from that, I do believe that if you're starting up on your own, then a couple of years in the initial phase, you have to let go of a large chunk of your personal life and put your head down and work at what you want to achieve in terms of your professional life.
Okay. So now, before concluding our session, what piece of advice or mantra you would like to give to our audience, who wish to be a successful entrepreneur someday?
So the first thing that you have to do is surround yourself with the right kind of people. You always, at all points in time, need to make sure that you're surrounded with bigger ideas, with people who are better than you, so you can learn from them and get better eventually. If there are people who are pulling you down, some amount of caution is always fine. But if people are like sort of pulling you down, then that's a sort of atmosphere you got to get out of. Now, second thing, if you want to start up, then start up now. It is always better to start early, fall early, fail early, pick yourself up again into the race and get yourself onto the track. And that way you'll get a better shot at whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you need certain work experience to, get your initial push, by all means go for it. But if you think you have an knowledge, then that's fine. It's okay to start and fail and then go on to track. The best or the fastest way to reach to your success, or the first step, is to start and be on your track, and everything will just keep happening organically. And if it doesn't, then you have to stop, reevaluate, and move on with your journey. So nobody ever became successful sitting in a room and dreaming about it. The first step is to just start. So that's pretty much what I would like to tell everybody who's looking at an entrepreneurial journey. That's all that matters. Start and everything will fall in place as long as you're willing to learn and take the risks and, sort of give that time and effort to whatever it is that you're doing.
Lovely piece of advice, I must say. Okay, so Indrani, thank you so much for joining us today. It was lovely talking to you, and I wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors. And may you continue to rise and shine the way you are doing. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.